Alamagon Geiger. Now let us join wise old Nancy, witch of Salem, and Satan, her wise black cat.
111-year-old I be today, yes, 111-year-old. Well, Satan, all of these folks be gathered here to hear one of our perfectly good bedtime stories. And tonight, we're going to tell them one that's become famous all around the world. You're right, Satan. A woman named Mary Shelley once writ this yarn of ours in a book. But she and no one else never knowed the true facts of this case but me. Douse out them lights. Settin' in the spooky shadows is the way to hear our pretty tales. Now, go up to the fire and gaze into the embers. Gaze into them deep, and soon you'll be in Switzerland. Soon you'll hear our yarn of Frankenstein. Frankenstein!
All right, I'm coming. Don't break the door down. Who is it?
It is I, Professor Waldman.
Oh, come in.
Good evening, Madam Maurice.
Good evening. Bah, it's raining cats and dogs. Step inside so I can close this door.
Yes, Madam Maurice.
Ooh, just letting that wet umbrella drip all over my clean floor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You men of science. I suppose I should be used to such foolishness after keeping house for Victor Frankenstein.
Oh, he's just a young scientist, Madam Maurice. Just wait until he reaches my age.
You leave me shocked.
Where is our young Victor? In his laboratory?
Is he ever anywhere else? He doesn't even come out for his meals anymore. What has he been doing in there, Professor, that he's so mysterious about?
I don't know any more than you do. Our Victor is a genius, and genius shares its secrets with no one.
Professor Walden, I'm worried about that boy. In the last 6 months, he's changed.
Changed?
Yes, he thinks of nothing but his work of late. You know how much he loves his fiancée, Elizabeth? Well, there's 3 times he's postponed their marriage because it wasn't finished. And I'm afraid of what he's doing. I feel it's unholy.
Madam.
Unholy, I tell you. He forbids me to enter the laboratory of his, but he can't close up my ears. At night I hear frightful sounds from there, the cries of animals in pain, and made from him who has always been so kind. Sustained shouts and crying. And I've seen the things brutish-looking men bring into this house. Hideous things from the slaughterhouse and the morgue. Last week, the public executioner was here. He brought the body of that robber who was beheaded in the square.
There's no need for you to worry. However disgusting the tools he employs, you may be sure the object of Victor's work is to benefit mankind.
Oh, I hope you're right. He's coming from the laboratory. See him lock the door behind him? With the care he takes, one would think that room was filled with gold.
Good evening, Victor.
Professor Waldman. So glad you received my message and came at once. Oh, Madame Maurice, get your hat and cloak. I must send you to your sisters.
In this awful storm?
Oh, is there a storm?
Is there a storm?
Then you must call a cab. I'm sorry, but Professor Waldman and I must have the house alone. This is the night for which I have waited so long. The night in which I'll finish the crowning achievement of the ages.
Victor, you're trembling with excitement.
What have you done?
Tomorrow, all Switzerland will know. My name shall ring throughout the world. You shall know first, dear Madame Maurice. But tonight, you must go. You must go now.
You mean your work has ended?
Yes.
There'll be no more dead bodies coming through that door? No more horrors from the slaughterhouse?
No, that's over, madam. Now go. Go. Go.
I'm going. Even if I catch my death of cold in this awful storm, it will be worth it.
Go, please go.
Victor, what have you discovered?
Wait to see if she's out of hearing. She wouldn't understand.
She's gone. What is it?
Come in, please. Come into the laboratory. Professor Waldman, from the putrescence of death, I have wrested the secret of life.
Life?
Yes. I, Victor Frankenstein, have created man. Look at him there. Bit by bit, I fashioned it. His organs, his limbs, his brain, his external flesh.
A beautiful sleeping giant.
Yeah, but sleeping only until I give him life. But now, the time has come. That's why I sent for you, old teacher. You pointed out the path.
I knew nothing of this.
Yes, you sent me to the ancients for forgotten knowledge. Through them, I learned of magic and the hidden truths of nature. But I have gone beyond the ancients. In a moment, I shall make a man. I shall be as God.
You blaspheme.
Why? 'Tis the race of whom this giant will be father. Frankenstein will be God's name.
Blasphemy!
No, for I am greater than your Lord.
You're mad!
Bah! Look at this puny human tribe which he created. They must have delicate foods, long hours of rest. They are weak, decayed, and gorged with sickness, afraid of heat and cold. Compared to this child of Frankenstein's great genius, men are flies living out a summer's day. Look at them there. 8 feet tall, a mountain of strength, immune to illness, weather, and fatigue. With a brain that grasps in a single hour all that man must take a year to learn. This machine will give him life. I pull the lever. Watch.
No, don't.
In a moment, he will breathe, and I shall have improved on nature. I shall have improved on God.
The giant's legs grow warm. There's pulsation in its veins.
Soon he will rise and walk.
Great God.
No, great Frankenstein.
Victor, the beautiful contours of his body are melting.
What?
His flesh is shriveling like a mummy.
He's becoming ugly, misshapen.
You are creating a horror.
The machine. I'll turn it off.
Too late. He breathes.
It's worse. He lives.
May God forgive you, Frankenstein. You've made a monster.
I can't go back into that house. I can't look at him again.
You must. You should not have fled from him an hour ago. You are responsible for him. You are his creator.
Yes, you're right. I am the great god, Frankenstein. But how could he have changed so as I gave him life? I planned a thing of beauty and produced a loathsome horror.
Man cannot usurp the properties of God. Let us go in.
Oh, all right. Oh, why should I fear him? His trifleness may be only that of an exterior that I in some way marred. I gave him a brain capable of the most lofty thoughts, the noblest actions. Why, it's going to be all right. In his body of a fiend may be the nature of an angel. I planned his nature so.
Victor, the laboratory's door is opened. He has burst the lock.
With giant strength.
He's gone.
Professor Waldman, what's that lying in the shadows?
It's Madame Maurice.
She didn't go to her sister's. She saw him. She fainted of fright.
Victor, she is dead.
Oh, no.
Her throat has been crushed by the giant hands. The monsters killed her.
Oh, no. The great god, Frankenstein.
Well, my boy, how does it feel to be on your feet again? Not bad after a year in bed, I'll wager.
A year has passed after that awful night.
Enough. I forbid you to speak of that just yet.
Oh, I'm quite strong now. We must talk, Professor. This is my first opportunity to be with you alone.
Careful, Victor. Elizabeth is in the next room. And your mother.
They don't know.
No one knows but you and me. They think your ravings of the monster figments of delirium. And you have been quite mad, you know.
Yes, mercifully mad. Until a week ago, the darkness lifted from my brain to help me remember and to fear. What other crimes has the thing I made committed since you brought me here? Where is he? You must tell me.
You have nothing to fear, Victor. The monster is dead.
Dead?
Yes.
You're not lying to me. You're not lying just to ease my mind.
No. During the week since his first disappearance, he was seen in several villages, and the superstitious farmers took him for a demon from another world. At last he was fired upon and wounded. The trail of his blood was traced to the edge of a mountain chasm 1,000 feet in depth. We shall never hear from him again.
Really dead? I feel as though the weight of time itself were lifted from my shoulders. I'm free again. My nightmare is over. There's nothing more to fear.
Victor, darling!
Oh, Elizabeth!
Come in, my dear.
I hope you will forgive my intrusion. I heard Victor's voice and it sounded so different, so happy. I simply had to come in and see.
Oh, I am happy, dear. I shall be happy forevermore.
You will be even happier if left with Elizabeth alone. I know, young lovers.
Oh, really, Professor?
I'll see you later.
Elizabeth, dear sweetheart.
Oh, how good it is to see you yourself again. You've been so ill, so close to death.
But now I have returned to life, and to you, forever.
You mean until you go away again? Back to your studies, your experiments?
No. My studies are over. My experiments are ended.
Victor!
I shall never enter a laboratory again. There will be no more postponements of our wedding.
Then I shall have you all my own, always.
Always.
Oh, my dear, you don't know how happy that will make me. I've been so jealous of the science which has kept you from me. It seemed to keep you even from the sun.
I have come back to you, and I...
Elizabeth!
Oh, your mother is calling me. I must tell her. Perhaps we could be married right away.
Tomorrow, if possible.
Oh, how I love you.
How I love you.
Elizabeth!
Coming, Mother Frankenstein. Oh, I'm so happy.
And I... Happy. Happy, happy, happy. There's nothing now to fear.
You're wrong, Frankenstein.
You... Alive!
Yes, I, the monster you created.
A 102-year-old be I today. Yes, sir. 102-year-old. Well, Satan, if these folks would just douse out them lights and make it nice and dark, we'll continue telling them that pretty story. We already told them that scientist fella discovered the secret of life and made a monstrous, ugly giant, whose first act was to strangle an old lady. Then he disappeared, and the fella who made him thought he'd been killed. A year later, we hear the giant's awful voice calling to him. Now draw up to the fire and gaze into the embers. Gaze into them deep and hear the rest of our yarn of Frankenstein. Frankenstein!
I followed you to this desolate place as you bade me. What do you want of me?
To show you my home, Frankenstein. this barren cave upon the mountainside, exposed to the wind and howling beasts. Here I, the monster you created, live, whilst you resided in comfort. I want to show you my solitude while you are planning marriage.
I thought you dead.
You made me too strong. The fall you heard had killed me could not destroy my body. I simply disappeared from man because man had shut me out. Even you cannot bear to look upon my repulsive being. Even you, my maker, you, my God.
God. The great God. Frankenstein.
Yes, when you made me so you called yourself.
How did you learn that I was your creator?
Upon that night when I first knew life, you fled from the horror you'd given breath from me. I was naked. It was cold. I wrapped a cloak of yours about me. There were papers in its pocket. When I learned to read, I found those papers were notes of your creation. A pity tale they told of how you made me from the refuse of the slaughterhouse and morgue. I'm partly man and partly beast. You owe me recompense for the awful life of which I am doomed. That is why I come to you tonight, that you may pay your debts.
What do you wish?
A companion.
Come.
Yes, Frankenstein. Oh, I hate you, and yet I love you, for you're all I have. Take pity on the thing you made, for I am lonely with a hunger that no man can ever know.
You want me for your companion?
No. You, no more than other men can bear to look upon my frightfulness. Give me a creature as loathsome as myself, one who will not run from me and hide his eyes in horror.
You mean create another monster?
Yes. For everything upon this earth except for me there is a mate. Of my breed I am Adam. Frankenstein, make me an Eve.
Eve? A female?
Yes.
No.
You plan marriage, why not I?
No. Why, you might loose upon the world a race of monsters. A race who would destroy mankind.
I swear we will do no harm, Frankenstein. I swear to you.
Never. I presume no more upon the powers of heaven. I experiment no longer with the mysteries of God.
You will not create for me a mate.
No, 1,000 times.
Yet you yourself will take one. But where you made me strong, I could crush you like a dove.
I'm not afraid of you, only of life's secrets, and I've already probed too deep. I will do nothing you ask.
Then die!
Strike!
No! I spare you now. At the hour of your greatest happiness, I will strike. Straight to your heart, Frankenstein. Wait and fear, or I will be with you on your wedding night. On your wedding night.
Victor, how can you be so sad tonight when all our dreams have just come true?
Oh, I'm not sad, dear. How could I be? But at last you are my wife.
Victor, you're keeping something from me.
Oh, no.
You are. Professor Waldman has been acting strangely, too. And the grounds outside are filled with strange men who look as though they were policemen standing guard. You have nothing to fear, my darling. No enemy to harm you on our wedding night.
No, of course not. What could I be afraid of?
Victor Frankenstein?
Oh, yes. I exempt Professor Waldman.
Victor, come with me at once. Excuse me, Elizabeth. I must speak to your husband alone.
What is all this mystery? What?
It's nothing, dear. Now, you stay here. I'll explain everything when I return.
Hurry, Victor.
Yes. Excuse me, dear.
But Victor, what?
Close the door tightly. She mustn't hear.
Did you see the monster?
Please have him surrounded.
Good.
Come on.
No, wait. He's cunning. I can't leave Elizabeth in that room alone.
It's you he threatened to strike, not her. And we have him in a net. He cannot get away.
Then lead me to him. At last let me destroy the awful thing my hands have made. Elizabeth!
Quick, back to that room!
Guards! Guards! Keep her safe. The door's locked.
Burst it open!
Elizabeth! She's lying crumpled on the floor.
That open window! The monster! Straight to your heart, Frankenstein. Straight to your heart! Ha!
Elizabeth! Elizabeth!
After all, Frankenstein, you've tracked me down.
You fiend of hell. Stand out from those rocks where I can see you.
So you may aim at my breast with that pistol with which you carry.
I have you now.
Not yet. You forget how fast I move?
Let me go.
Did you think you could destroy me with weapons such as this? I, whom you made superior to the puny race of men. I will throw your pistol into yonder cavern, and I release you unhurt and unharmed.
Sometime with another weapon, I shall bring you death. Tonight, you have killed the woman I have loved the best in all the world. On her broken body, I am sworn to live for your destruction.
I told you I'd strike you to the heart. You thought I meant your heart of flesh, your body. There was a better way. I've turned your happiness to misery.
Oh, God, great Lord of all, destroy this monster.
You are my God! You, my Lord of all! Listen, my father, as you denied me the comradeship that rightfully should be mine. Now you are in agony, and you condemn me to a life of solitude and sorrow. Now you are condemned. You've sworn to live for my destruction, you said. Your hate will make you follow me across the world, to the sun-scorched deserts, to the icy plains, to the heat and cold and thirst and hunger, to which I, your creation, am immune. How great you made me, great God, Frankenstein. You'll follow me across the world. I always just ahead, you always just behind, until your body racked by age and sorrow, we will reach the end. Now I go, and you will follow.
I will follow to your death.
To the death of both, for you and I henceforth are one.
Hello, castaway! 3-point starboard!
Castaway, 3-point starboard.
Castaway? Here at the Arctic Circle?
Aye, sir. Lookout spotted a man on a floating block of ice. Probably broke away from the mainland, sir.
Dead?
A white man, 1,000 miles from humankind.
Some explorer, probably like ourselves.
Yes, who's lost his party.
He may be the companion of that strange giant we saw off in the distance a week ago.
Think we can get him, sir?
We'll try. Man the longboats!
All hands
Hands
up,
up,
man
man
the
the
longboats!
longboats!
Cast away!
It's a strange story you tell, Mr. Frankenstein. You pursued this man for 40 years?
Not a man, a monstrous being. Over mountain and desert, ocean and plain, from the vales of Africa here to the Arctic Circle I have followed,
I always just behind, he always just ahead. 40 years I have known no home, no friend, only solitude, misery, and an empty dream of vengeance. Now I'm dying. I can pursue no longer.
There, man. 5 days on that ice floe didn't do you any good. But our ship's doctor will soon have you on your feet and as good as new. What you need now is lots of rest. So I'll leave you until morning. Good night, Mr. Frankenstein.
Good night, Captain. Rest. Lots of rest.
Yes, my father.
You.
I crept aboard the ship when darkness fell.
I expected you. For we have reached the end.
The end. For a god as miserable as his Adam, an Adam as sorrowful as his god.
Sorrowful because your vengeance is over.
No, Frankenstein. At the end, there is no longer heart for vengeance. All things cease. All things begin again. You're dying. The son cannot survive the parent. Let me lift you in my arms.
Carry me to the deck.
Gently, tenderly I bear you, for you're all I have to love, all I've had to hate. Frankenstein, forgive me at the end.
I forgive. And forgiveness' sake, beneath these icy waters, let there be one grave for both.
You and I, creator and created,
My presumption and your misery.
we're at the rail, the waters way below.
Let us find peace together. Now,
The end.
the end.
And them's the true facts about the story of Frankenstein. Come and see us next week, and Satan and me will have another yarn to spin ya.